It is time. I have new followers and I wanted to do an introduction / update on where we are in life. The last update that I gave you guys, or the previous, was when I was still in Germany, talking about why I left Switzerland, why I'm in Germany. That time has passed. I've been in the US now for 4 years now. Oh, well, that's crazy, 4 years. And I only went back to Germany once since. Since I've been there, both my grandmothers have passed. One of the grandmothers, if you've seen my previous videos, I lived with her and I was her caretaker. And then I needed something else in my life besides being cooped up with my grandmother and with COVID, not really being able to go out much, which is kind of what's happening now here. But at least I have my husband, and my parents live on this beautiful small ranch, so we have space. We can hang out with the horses, hang out with the chickens, the cats, and the dogs. So there's more to do here versus at my grandmother's. I really didn't have much to do. I couldn't really have friends over, and when I did hang out with friends, I felt like if it was longer than I had told her, she would kind of panic, which is understandable. Like, it worked until it didn't work anymore, which is fine. You know, we have to grow out of stuff. So I moved back to the US. I was dating, I ended up starting, I asked my friend from high school if we wanted to date. I was the one that kind of pushed that. And I've known my husband, who's now my husband, I've known my husband since 2011. He's kind of gone on this journey with me, but from a distance and from phone calls, FaceTime, whatever. But we were always good friends. And then when it was time for me to come back home, or I knew I was coming home, I asked him if we wanted to start dating now that I'm coming home. So we did long distance dating for maybe 6 months, maybe less. And then I flew back. So we kind of just did long distance and I came in. We immediately started dating when I got back. I mean, we continued it. I got to re-meet his mom because I've met his mom, but I've never met his dad, so I got to meet his dad. And then when I got engaged, I got to meet his aunt and uncle that live in the US, and then he has another separate side of the family that lives in Switzerland, and I have only met 2 out of a couple of them. So with that being said, I came back to the US, kind of plan on just visiting but also staying. Like, I wasn't sure 100%. I ended up staying, obviously, because I'm still here. And I started working in a nonprofit organization, Preserve Wild, and then our towning, which I'm not going to say. And it's pretty much a nonprofit that saves open space in our city and tries to protect it. I was a part of that as the photographer and then as a researcher. I have recently stepped out of that group. I still help them wherever I can, but for the majority of it, I am completely out of that, just because I have a lot going on my plate right now that it's a volunteer group. I'm not earning anything. I'm just earning experience, and while that is very important, I'm at that point in my life where I need to make money. With that being said, I personally struggle with chronic migraines, which can physically hold me back at times, which is why I don't work for somebody outside the family, if that makes sense. My husband and I got married back in 2024, and we got engaged in 2023. So we got engaged for a year, got married, and in 2025 he decided he wanted to start a business. And so he started the business and I kind of jumped in on that, and so we run a business now. We run a mobile diesel mechanic business, and I do all the office work and all the paperwork and all the social media and all that stuff for him, and he pretty much does all the work, actually, physical work. which has helped me with my migraines. I am able to have some like flexibility, choose the days that I work. I like to work a lot in evenings or early mornings, so I'll get up early in the morning and do some work, and then I just spend the midday as like doing stuff around the house, and then in the evening he and I will sit down again, talk a little bit about his day, what orders we need to add on, what just other paperwork that needs to be done that we can do together. So that's kind of what we're at right now, is what we're doing, is running a business. I run my own business on top of that, where I sell candle holders or tea light holders. My friend uses hers for jewelry and rings. I have another friend that uses hers for just rings, I think. So that's what my mother-in-law uses hers as well, for rings. So they've turned into jewelry holders when they're supposed to be tea light holders, but it is what it is, and you can use it for whatever. So I've been selling those, and I hand make them myself. So that's been bringing in a little bit of income. And then of course I do my YouTube videos and my TikTok videos. So that's what I've been doing. A little bit about where we live and stuff, in case you haven't noticed, that we do live in a tiny house. My parents invested in a tiny house for my husband and I after we got married, because living with my in-laws was just not working long term. And buying property here in California, it's so expensive. It's so fucking expensive. Rent here is, starting point is about $3,000 a month. And in the state of California, you have to make double the rent. So that's not a lot. Like, half of the friends that I know do not own an apartment. They either rent in a room, or their parents bought them like a condo and they own 5% of it. Like, my parents bought us the tiny house and we pay it back monthly, and eventually we will be owners. So we're doing rent to buy through my parents. And my sister and her partner pretty much is also renting. Like, nobody really in my generation or younger can own a property here in the state of California unless you're really extremely smart with your money or have a really good paying job. My husband had a good paying job, but we're living paycheck to paycheck here in the state of California. Our goal is to move to Arizona still. A lot of people were asking, but because our job here, or his business here, has clientele that are returning, we decided we're going to stay in California, maybe move to a cheaper city. And then he does want to start another location in Arizona so that we can pendle back and forth. That is our long-term goal. Our short-term goal right now is just to get more customers, to be more consistent with our social media, and kind of live here where we can live somewhat comfortably to an extent. I mean, how do I say this nicely? It's not easy for us to live here at my parents' house or my parents' property, because it is their property, so they have high expectations, which I'm used to. But my husband is not, because his parents didn't have extreme high expectations for him growing up, and my parents have very high expectations. Their background is high expectations, and so I feel like whenever we have something outside the house, they have to say something about it, or like they don't like that we have, like, I feel like every time we ask them, like, do you have, for an example, like my mom said, the whole point is to like have it like, if we need something from you, we can ask, and if you need something from us, we can ask. So like the other day I asked if they had an avocado, if I could have half an avocado. And it just felt like she really was annoyed with the fact that I was asking her for half of an avocado. And so, like, it's my husband, he kind of ignores the feeling of it, or like the response and tone of voice, where I don't. And so it gets to me more than it does. It gets to me more than it does to him. But at the same time, we kind of live on their property, and we feel like we should have a little bit of leisure, like be able to have chairs outside, and if we're going through some stuff, have tubs out. And I understand that it sometimes looks junky, but like their side of the area, or where they live, is not always clean either, and it's not like we ever say anything to them. So I don't think this will fit long term. We don't plan on staying here long term. We plan on staying, like paying off the tiny house and then moving pretty quickly. We've been looking at properties in different cities around us that are cheaper, so that when we are ready, we can just move the tiny house. Our tiny house is on wheels, so it's on a trailer. And it's pretty cool, actually. I really like it. Our goal is to keep it for when we have future kids, and when they're ready to move out, that they have something they can live in that's on our property, but also at the same time kind of have their own space farther away than what we have with my in-laws. Our future goal is to have a property where they can have their own entrance, and we have our own entrance. But we plan on keeping that tiny house as long as we can, forever. Eventually we'll own it anyways. And yeah, that's a little bit about us. Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about our goals here on YouTube. The goal for me here on YouTube is to continue to share with you guys kind of like a day in lives. Like I said earlier, I struggle from chronic migraines. Like right now I'm having a migraine, but it's not that bad, so I'm able to communicate with you guys. But there are definitely times where I have migraines where I can't walk, my body feels paralyzed, I start to feel numbness. Right now it's just pain right here, so I'm hoping that with my migraine rings, it'll go away. I love to share a little bit about migraines, like day in the life of a migraine. I could do a video on my migraine kit. I've updated it lately, and I did have a migraine kit video up. I just don't know if it was YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, but I'll have to go look into that, because I feel like that would be something fun to see and kind of see what other migraineurs are taking and what products they're using. So we do want to do more videos related to migraines. Definitely show like day in the lives of a small business owner videos. Right now we have not been able to really afford food that much, so we've been going to the food pantry quite a bit, or the food bank. That's what it called. I keep saying the wrong thing. So I've had a couple videos up of what we got in the food bank, and I know my first video got a couple of negative comments. I just wanted to say that my husband is running his own business. We live paid it, literally job site to job site kind of situation. And whenever we pay the bills first before we buy food. And right now we owe rent still. So, and my husband still needs to pay his car payment. And we literally pay off as we go with the job sites that he has. So yes, there are times where we will go to the food bank just to help us out. Other times my mom will go grocery shopping for us, but she's extremely picky and she's vegetarian, so she won't buy meat. She only buys organic vegetables and fruit. She'll occasionally buy us like unhealthy things, but it's very restricted with her, so food bank is kind of our only option, except for unless we can afford Aldi's, or there's another store that we have called North Park Produce. They're pretty cheap. And then the food bank. So I just want to say, if you see anybody else making videos going to the food bank, you don't know their situation, so don't judge them. You know, it's not fair, and you shouldn't be able to do that. I would love to make more videos on what it's like to live in the tiny house. Maybe do some more deep cleaning resets. Like, we're always doing a reset on our house because it's so tiny and it can get pretty messy quickly because we're running 2 businesses and we're living in it. Cleaning videos, I want to start doing those because we do a lot of cleaning and a lot of cooking videos. I cook a lot. I love to cook. And so I think that would be kind of fun to bring that into the new year for 2026. So that's kind of what my goal is for this YouTube channel. My husband started his own YouTube channel, which I will link down below, for his business if you guys want to check that out. And other than that, I think that's it. I think really that's it. That's kind of all of our updates. 2026 is our goal. Long term is to really get his business going so that he's working 40 hours a week. And my goal is to explore more in the kitchen and do a lot of baking, do a lot of cooking, and do a little bit more content creations because I'm slacking just a little. So yeah, I hope this video helped you guys get to know us a little better, get to know me a little, and kind of get to know our updates and our long-term goals for this year, 2026. Yeah, so I will definitely share with you guys some of the videos that we will be doing here. I know my husband wants to do on his channel a toolbox tour, and he wants to do his favorite tools that he uses, and then brand, of course, like what brands he likes. For me, I would love to share some recipes with you guys, talk a little bit about what it's like living project to project. It's like less than paycheck to paycheck, pretty much, and kind of take you along more. I know my friend was saying like she wanted to start vlogging, and I feel like I need to vlog with more intention is what I would like to do, and again push myself out there. So I hope you guys have a good day. I'm gonna go do something. I have a migraine. I don't know what to do. But we'll probably go over to my in-laws and hang out with them as they're getting ready to move. So I will see you guys all when I get back, and send some suggestions of what videos I should make down below. I hope you guys have a good day.